If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me tell you about it. It's free, which is amazing. And there are these really cool creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will even distribute your podcast for you, so it's easy to be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you get podcasts. And you get to make money with no minimum listenership, which is really cool. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started right away. Yoga teachers, mindfulness leaders, and energy workers, are you ready to stop side hustling and start making an income doing what you love? Welcome to the Marketing Off the Mat podcast. Every Tuesday and Thursday, we'll dive into conversations with successful creatives in wellness, business, marketing, and more to uncover practical methods to take you from A to B and have some fun along the way. My name is Jessica Cross, and I'm so excited to be here with you. Let's dive in. Welcome back to Marketing Off the Mat. It's Jess. I'm so glad that you're here. And as we're starting to approach the end of January, which just seems crazy, wasn't it just New Year's? I wanted to talk a little bit about today, the ownership of our own destiny in our business. So I think that when I started teaching, and actually as I was starting to complete my 200-hour, and if you've heard this story, indulge me. But when I finished my 200-hour teacher training, towards the end, we had an hour, maybe an hour and a half with a quote unquote business expert who was a teacher at the studio from which I did my training. And the basic concept of what she offered us was get some really great photos and be willing to take what you get as far as teaching opportunities, be it at a studio, community center, and be happy with it. And it's going to be tough to make ends meet. And that's just the reality of what it is that we do as teachers. And that really shocked me because I had this idealized view in my mind of teaching at a studio, making a really good living. And, you know, even if it was less than I was making at my corporate job, I would at least be doing something that I love that was paying the bills. But as I started to unpack that a little bit, I started asking questions about, you know, from mentors, how much money per class was average, what did they make as they were starting out? And I started stacking up pennies versus dollars and how much money that I could potentially make as a new teacher. And it was shocking. And I wonder if many people have actually had the same experience and this idealized view as a new teacher and actually being able to pay your bills with your studio teaching. So, you know, of course and maybe you did this too, is when I started teaching, I took on a bunch of classes, even though I was still working full time because I had this dream that I was like, okay, all right, so it's not as much per class as I was hoping. That's fine. I'll just teach more. And I'm partly glad for that experience because I'm able to share my experience with you today. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about my energy expenditure for a class, and I gained experience. So that's not all bad, right? But that was the fast track to burnout, super fast. I took on way too much. I was teaching before work. I was teaching after work. I was teaching on the weekends, 7 days a week, basically. And it was too much. And I had to let it go. And I was really discouraged because it's like, how am I going to get to do something that makes me feel like I'm making an impact in the world? And I was so sure that it was teaching in a studio. And if you're feeling that way, I am so with you. Like if I could grab your hand right now and be like, I so get it. I know. But I'm here to say, if you're listening to this podcast, you are looking for another way. And I'm here to tell you that there is one. There is a way for you to carve your own path and use your studio teaching, if you want to continue that, as something enjoyable instead of something that you are just racking up classes, 20 classes a week or more, just so you can pay your rent. And if you can carve your own path, if you can figure out what it is specifically that is your message, that your magic that you can put out into the world, we are in the perfect time to build an online business. There's a statistic out there that says during the pandemic, our tech and our ability to rise to that occasion expanded within 10 years time, over 18 months. So we furthered our ability to reach an audience online. And if you listen to past episodes, you might listen to episode 57, where I was talking about the fact that there's 7.7 billion people on this planet. And a lot of those people have Zoom, y'all. A lot of those people are on Instagram. A lot of those people are on Insight Timer, and so many more platforms that you can utilize to build your own business, to reach more students than you can in a single drop-in class, to work on a time schedule that actually works for you and not for studio or not for the community center. There is another way, I promise you. And keep listening to this podcast, of course, but keep listening to this call to own your own destiny, to carve your own path, because it is possible. I am here with resources for Marketing Off the Mat, completely free. I have incredible guests that come on here and share their wisdom and experience from all genres of the business world, as well as through the yoga lens, the wellness and healing lens. I have incredible resources on my website. It's at jessicacross.co that are completely free and are available to you at any time, free instant downloads. So take advantage of those. It's at jessicacross.co on Instagram and jessicacross.co/resources if you want to check those out. And I have incredible offerings coming up. I want you to stay tuned because I'm going to help you make this thing happen. So I don't want to spoil it just yet, but you might be hearing from me really, really soon on what is happening in February. I have a little something coming up. And right now I do offer one-to-one services. I offer a 90-day thought partnership program where we work together for 90 days over Zoom and really diving into what it is that you want to bring into this world, what it is that is your special magic that no other of the 7.7 billion people can bring. And we start to unravel what it is that you want to do, how you want your schedule to look. We start to unravel how you want to shape this business. We start trying things. It's really exciting. So if that's your jam, send me a note. I'm here for you. I have space for you. And I also offer Boxer. So Boxer with Jess is a new thing that I'm offering. If you're not familiar with Boxer, you can check it out at boxer.com. It's a super cool voice messaging app. If you're not into Zoom, this is your jam. We get to talk together over this app, and it's an on-the-go style coaching opportunity. So you got something on your mind, you got something on your heart, somewhere you're stuck, you can send me a little note. And when I get a second, I'll take a look and respond back to you. It's so customizable. It's so easy to use, and it really works around your life instead of staring at a Zoom screen. So there are options for you, and there's more coming too. So stay tuned, keep your earbuds in, keep checking in on the podcast every week. I'm so glad that you're here because we're going to do this thing. All right. Thanks for listening. I'll catch you on the next episode. Thanks for listening to the Marketing Off the Mat podcast. I love hanging with you as we figure this thing out together. Do you have an idea or something to share with me? Send me a DM on Instagram at jessicacross.co and let me know what's on your mind. I'd be so grateful if you shared this with someone who could use this episode. And if you get a chance, please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Catch you on the next episode. See ya.